90,000 mile car, supposedly. So should be better bushing wise than what's on here, 250,000 miles. So looking, let me get my flashlight real quick. At some of these bushings, they are, the suspension, I mean, all this is tore up as you can imagine, but some of them look okay. Oof. Yeah, some of them look okay. You know what I mean? Not the end of the world. Not bad, not bad. So we may keep some of them overall. Someone's replaced the bearings from what it appears, so everything seems to be okay in that regard. But let's go up to the front. And let's see what we see up here. So the bushing is pretty much, oh, nothing's tight. Sweet, okay, cool, easy enough. Those look cracked. Not sure if you'll be able to see that on video or not. Yeah, there we go, a little bit. So that one's cracked, that one's done for. Need to swap that out, so we'll just swap the whole top. But besides all that, in general, the bigger pieces that matter, your upper bushing control arm is complete. Oh, let me get under there for you. Is completely gone. And then the bottom one is definitely no better. So we will pretty much be needing to replace this upper and lower at a minimum. Everything else somewhat seems okay, but we'll still swap them out anyway, just to have newer bushings so they're not all blown up and ripped to shreds as we go through it. So we're gonna get these out of the box so we can actually see what we're working with here. I know there's some that need to be replaced and then some that don't have any bushing on it that we'll replace as well, but otherwise, yeah, let's pull these out real quick. All right, so going through it. Let's go from the fronts. We know that these are cooked right there. These bushings themselves, okay, seem like they're fine. This side's split, so cooked. Everything's okay there. These are worse than my miles, honestly, so I'll probably just keep these as backups more than likely, and then repurpose what I can if I need to. But I think for the most part, everything on the other bushings are okay. These are just going to be spares because these are all somewhat okay, but not great. Not much better than what I'm already dealing with. So with that in mind, yeah, we are going to try and just reuse everything we already got going on here so we don't have to take a whole bunch of stuff apart. But the fronts definitely need the attention as of now, just because we need to clearly replace this upper and the bottom on both sides. So we'll buy those and get that done. We'll also need to get these tie rod ends because these are also cooked. So that one's ripping, the other one's ripping too. No big deal. Swap them out, keep it rolling. But everything else seems like it's still doing okay. We need to take this steering rack out as well and put our manual one in, so that'll be good. But yeah, otherwise, we're pretty much almost ready. We're gonna clean all this out. We're gonna spray it all out once we get the suspension stuff done and taken care of, because that has to get done first. We'll probably may paint the bay, may not. It just depends on when all the seals come in. And as for wiring, we still need to cut the wires that are here so we can extend the crank angle sensor wire. I'm gonna do coil on plugs when I get to that point. And then I think there's one more sensor that's back there. But either way, so got a few things to do there. Still got the soft top to finish up. I kind of want to finish this up when I get outside, but I also need to look it up a little bit more on how this is supposed to connect. Never had a soft top on this one. Had it, took it off immediately. So all the stuff that is, all this hardware is coming from the black car because they never had it in there. Took it out, just saved all this stuff. But yeah, so need to look at that, see what that looks like. Should be hopefully an easy thing, but yeah, that's the end goal for that. So let's get some of this stuff started. All right, so instead of doing the drill and tap way, or the drill and tap, the self tappers like I did on my other car, pretty much just gonna, this hole is already here, just kind of drilled it out to make it a little bit bigger. Same with the inside hole, just kind of made everything a little bit bigger. So that way we can put in that hole as well. Same on the other side, same thing. That way we can actually use our rivnets. Focus. So that way we can just put this in. I had to widen this hole in order to let this whole thing go in and get all the way through. So now that I can go all the way to the back side, tighten it down, which should be good. And then this should just be straightforward for that. And then that way we can put on our little C-clamps to hold this all up and above so it doesn't hit the tire. Then I'll show you what those look like on this side, just because it's easier to see. But rib nut, you can see on the other side, they're there, but they're like, you can't even see them, especially that one. So, looking good, looking good. I think the other one is actually, yeah, you can't even see the other one. So, even better. So we're good there. Now we need to actually get these C-clamps just on there, put the wire in it, bolt it up, good to go. All right, we got our wires done on both sides, pretty much drilled and tapped, or drilled, and then used rib nuts within the holes there, attached everything across, same thing here and inside. So this is nice and good. This needs to be tightened up a little bit maybe, but that's pretty good too. There's not really much slack. So really just need to wrap these up all together. See if there's anything I need to plug in for those or for the car to run. But aside from that, we're gonna go inside, take from our other wiring harness, cut it up, make the wires match like we did with our other car, go from there. And this is pretty much what I used last time. These posi lock connectors, which are pretty much connectors that you put the wire in, twist in, and then twist it back to tighten it down. So it has no way to leave, essentially. Kind of like, I don't know, subwoofer amplifiers, where you kind of put it in there, tighten it down with the screw on top. So this is very similar, just there's nothing else to like mount it to, it just is itself. So let me open one of these real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So essentially unscrew it all the way out. This is what it looks like on the other side. And then you'll just pop this all the way off, prying out and drop it. And then you have this connector inside, or this little piece inside. So you'll basically feed the wire in as far in as you can get it. This will just thread down on top of it, and then you should be good. You pretty much will feed the wire through this hole. That's probably the best way to describe it. Through the hole, inside of here, tighten it down, boom. And a little tidbit, if you have an extra wiring harness, use it. That way you can cut everything to be the same color as what you're already using. But on top of that, make sure that you cut everything to be the same length so they're not all over the place and they look decent. But yeah, just little things as you're going through it. All right, so pretty much got all our wiring. These are the two I needed extensions for, or additional connectors for, so that's all good now. We got all the other ones done and dusted over here. So now we can come over here, basically cut up what we need to cut and then match up whatever color we use over here for this section over here. Everything should be the same exact color and thickness except for these. These will just be a little bit bigger because I didn't have those anymore. But otherwise, yeah, the rest of them will go color to color and match up directly. So let's start chopping and getting things together, shall we? All right, so we have all the wiring pretty much done. I need to extend our grounds at some point, but aside from that, everything else wire-wise is hooked up all the way through and through. So same thing as last time. That's where we cut, spliced, essentially use these connectors, which are very solid. Basically squishes in between the threads where everything goes through. So it's not really watertight necessarily, but none of this stuff will be in a wet area for that matter. It's really gonna be inside, probably like right here on the inside of the interior, and then outside of the interior, obviously an engine bay should be fine out there. So haven't had an issue with that car, so hopefully this just continues on this way. The only other thing that I did not have was more white wire that was long enough. So we used this mint color, one that was decently close in the exact same sizing. So that way I don't have to worry about any wires getting too hot or anything like that. But yeah, so now we have all that done. I ordered some hockey tape because apparently I ran out when I did that car. So we'll do this, wrap it all up in hockey tape to protect it. Put the extra little protection sleeve things on it so we can push it through, and then we should be set to put it inside the engine bay. So. All right, welcome back. Here we are again, back in the garage doing the same old thing that we've been doing. So pretty much focusing on getting the suspension goods back in order, essentially. A lot of the bushings, and I bought a separate set of stuff, just is not really up to par with what I would expect it to be, given it's a 250,000 mile car. So I expect it to have a lot of old stuff on it. But yeah, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So I've already started, as always. Before I started recording, I got the upper bolt out. It's over here. And that way I can take this out, take the suspension out, and then hopefully drop the lower too, just since we're down there. I may keep the lowers on depending, but we'll see. I need to get this whole knuckle assembly stuff off so that way I can actually get the lower ball joint out. The upper is torn on the current ones, but the old ones that I still have that were on my NA before are perfectly fine. So we're gonna repurpose those. Bushings are decent, so we're gonna reuse those for the uppers, just save these for something different, and then yeah, do the same thing the other side. So let me knock this out real quick, getting the suspension out. Should be able to just lift it out since I've already disassembled it. Everything was hand tight, so it makes it easy to take it apart. But yeah, we'll just start 2 bolts up top, do basically the same thing on the other side. And then we can throw in our replacement uppers and get a replacement ball joint. Goodness gracious, almost fell everywhere. Replacement ball joint for the bottom. Still need to order it, but once I order it, then we can throw that in. So, all right, so pretty much if you ever need to pop off a tie rod end out of the knuckle or anything instead of hitting it with a hammer, or you want to do it a nice cheap way, Amazon, I think like 15 bucks for this piece. It comes with another pie bar access piece, like hook, but didn't really use it, just only use this. So essentially, because my boots are just destroyed at this point, we're pretty much going to take this, slide it underneath, right here, and just put it as far up underneath as we can. Essentially, the top of this, as you can imagine, is just going to go down, push on top of this, and then it should just pop right out. So, see if it does exactly just that, like the other side. Okay. See if it works. Easy. Okay, so got everything out on this side. Besides the lower control arm that's about to get done, I just need to get this steering rack out because we're going to use our manual one from before. So we're going to get rid of all the power steering lines and everything. All those are pulled out. We just need to drain this a little bit so that way the rest of this stuff can come out into this bucket full of it. Just need to rotate it so we can actually take this off, slide it right off, and we should be good. So let me just rotate it real quick to drain it all the way, and then we'll put it back and take that one bolt out. And my 2-year-old self would like to hear this noise later. Just bleeding the rack. Try and get as much fluid out as I can get. Overall, the rack itself seems like it's good, but definitely could use an inner and outer tie rod end and the arm itself, because within it seems like there's really no slowness in that, so there's a lot of play in my opinion, or at least it probably is worn out at this point, so it needs to be swapped out. But yeah, if you're interested and need one, 100 bucks, let me know. Let me get this thing out of here now. There we go. Okay. Mucho gusto. All right, sweet. Now we got that out. Hands, as you can see, are covered, but we got it out. So we'll go ahead and clean myself up real quick and then throw in the other rack. But we'll take the mount out first, mount the lower controller bolt out first, so that way we can knock that out. Okay, so got both sides out. Passenger driver, we'll pretty much go ahead, swap this top one with our good one, and then we'll buy new lower control arm bushing, not bushings, but the lower control arm ball joint. Jeez Louise. Lower control arm ball joint, and then, yeah, slap all this back together. The hubs themselves seem like they're doing okay. Overall, there's no like immediate play or any issues, so I feel like these have been either replaced recently or maybe at least in the last 50,000 miles or so, but who knows. So yeah, we got everything out. Let's start tearing it apart a little bit further, shall we? All right, holy crap. We've been doing a whole bunch of stuff, didn't record a lot of it, but some of it I got recorded. So the steering shaft, the old one out. If someone needs it, let me know. Sell it to you for cheap. Once we get all the suspension stuff, well, it's off now at this moment. So all the suspension is gone. We'll basically put, at least for the front, the rear I'm just gonna leave as is for now, but the front is gone. So we can replace the upper and lower control arms or the bushings for it. And then what else do we have? We need to get some new brake rotors, brake pads, we have a bunch that are sitting up there already. We took the old took the old ball joints out of these. So that was easy, straightforward. These bushings look like they're doing okay overall, so we'll leave those probably on there. These are the old ones that are here. These are trash. So throw these out, get some new ones, 60 bucks, whatever, at the end of the world. So we'll throw these out. And then we took the old power steering line off, so that's done. We have our manual rack that's gonna go in, and then we're basically got our wires wrapped up for the most part. We'll be doing the same thing in here for this stuff, and then we'll just wrap it up. So that way we're good to go with that. We have the the replacement uppers that I still had from my old car that I took off because I replaced mine with NB ones. But since this is NA, we'll keep it all NA, makes it easy. So we'll throw that in here, and then we should be good and set for, put everything back on the ground. Once we get the new lower ball joint, slap this back together, put the suspension back in, roll it outside, clean and spray all this stuff off, so that way we at least have a fresh starting point. And then, put it back together. So, doing good. And then last thing we need to do is pretty much throw on our old cut bumper on here, and then take this one off and just keep it somewhere different in case I need another bumper for whatever reason. But we take this one apart real quick, a couple 10 mils, throw the other one on, should be good to go. Just kidding, got all the stuff on top, and the bumper, I forgot you gotta take out those plastic pieces along the way. So yeah, we'll do that another time, but at least for now, sorry, I'm burping. At least for now, we have everything done that we wanted to get done today. So it's a good starting point, good stopping point, really, I guess, at the end of the day. So right now, I'm gonna see if these wheels and tires will fit on this car. One, to see if those will hold air, because they're a 3-piece. So we'll see. And then next thing we'll probably end up doing is throwing in the manual steering rack. So that way that'll be in place and whatnot. But otherwise, car is coming along really well. Just like that, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Appreciate you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already, please do. Please do. Makes it a lot easier for me. And I enjoy it. I'm making the videos for you guys. So like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one, man. Enjoy the process. Peace.